Amber Wilde is missing, and now there may be a motive. The key clue comes in Amber's own words, written in her secret diary. "I'm pregnant."
I was the first one that she told that she was pregnant.
So you were Amber's confidant?
I think so, yeah.
Amber confides in her Aunt Lori Enart, then tells the rest of her family it's an accidental pregnancy, but she plans to keep the baby.
It surprised me, but you know, if it was going to happen to anybody, I felt would probably be the one person that could overcome this.
Amber continues her pre-med studies at the University of Wisconsin, Green Bay, and begins planning for the arrival of her bundle of joy.
She hadn't found out yet the gender of the baby, but if it was a girl, her name was going to be Alexandria.
Everybody was supportive. She really didn't have anybody that wasn't supportive.
Except possibly one person. The man Amber claims is her baby's daddy.
Did she ever tell you about Matt Schneider's reaction to the pregnancy?
Yes, she did. He was not happy.
Amber tells Lori the father is a burly, 6 foot, 5 inch tall, 21-year-old highway construction worker she met at a party named Matthew Schneider.
How did she feel by his response towards her?
Of course she was upset with that, but she just wanted the baby to know his or her father and have him be a part of that child's life.
According to Lori, Amber tries relentlessly to get Schneider involved with her pregnancy, but he refuses. Lori claims Matthew even asks Amber to get rid of the baby.
He wanted her to have an abortion. He didn't want anything to do with it.
What was her reaction?
She told me she never would do that.
Green Bay police begin digging deeper into Amber's secret diary, and in her own words, she gives cops alarming insight into her final conversations with Schneider.
Basically was giving her ultimatums or threatening to either harm himself or that she'd never see the kid again, and he made these type of statements.
Would not wanting a baby be a motive for possibly murdering Amber? On its own, maybe not. But Schneider has other serious issues. Cops find out he's also got a fiance?
So Matt Schneider was engaged to be married at the time he had this one-night stand with Amber.
That is correct.
I think the biggest thing was he didn't want Heidi, his fiance, to know because he didn't want that relationship to end.
Because he cheated on her.
Right.
Well, and he's engaged to another woman.
Right.
Cops say in her diary, Amber makes it clear she wants Schneider to come clean with his fiance about the baby. But when he refuses, Amber confronts Matt's fiance face to face.
Amber told her.
Yes. She did tell Matt's fiance that she was pregnant with Matt's baby, and she also wrote a letter to Matt's mother.
According to Amber's diary, Schneider was livid.
Did Amber ever describe Matt's demeanor?
The only thing she had mentioned one time was that he was mean to her. And I said, what do you mean, mean? I said, does he hit you? Does he, you know? And she said, no. She said, he always cutting me down, telling me I'm fat and telling him I'm, ugly or whatever. And I said, well, if he ever would do anything to hurt you, I said, you get away from him.
Green Bay police say, looking back at Amber's diary, they now believe she was leaving them clues.
It's her talking to us. It's her telling us, what was going on in her life and what she was doing.
So they hunt down Schneider to get his side of the story. And it's not at all what they expect to hear.
What did Matt Schneider tell you?
He denied to the initial detectives ever having a sexual relationship with Amber.
Flat out denies it.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing he denies that that was his kid, too.
Yes.
Schneider tells investigators he met Amber at a local restaurant and barely knew her.
He told the detective that he probably maybe talked to her twice.
Schneider's fiance tells cops Amber had an almost fatal attraction to Matthew and was making it all up.
She states that Matt in no way had any sexual contact with Amber at all, and the fact that Amber was just infatuated with Matt and harassing him.
Could it be? Was Amber just a confused teenager, desperate for attention?
He says he flat out never had sex with Amber.
Pretty interesting, yeah. No, I don't believe that. I know that was who she was involved with, and that's who the father of the baby was.
And police believe that secret diary could hold the key to who's lying.
The Green Bay police have not released Amber's diary as part of their ongoing investigation, but they did allow me to read selected passages as it pertained to Matthew Schneider. And I got to tell you, it even made me blush. She was very graphic about their sexual relationship. It's clear this was not a one-night stand.
In the diary, she even wrote about different sexual positions, and family members told us their relationship was hot and heavy for 4 months, then went ice cold when he found out Amber was pregnant. Crime Watch Daily has also confirmed a doctor performed an ultrasound and determined Amber was about 4.5 months along at the time of her disappearance.
In this case, who would have any motive to get rid of Amber?
The father of the baby. Once that baby was born, there would be the proof.
Still, Schneider maintains he did not have sex with Amber and the baby was not his. If that's true, and he only talked to Amber a couple of times, cops want to know how Schneider can explain this key piece of the mystery: his phone records.
Matt and Amber had many more conversations than just 2?
Between the time period they first met and the time period she went missing, from phone records and other statements, maybe around 60 times for sure.
60?
Yes.
60.
60.
If some woman was accusing me of fathering the child she's currently impregnated with, and I was like 100% sure that it wasn't mine, I'd be like, don't call me again, you loon. There wouldn't be more than 2 conversations.
Well, yes, there clearly was a back and forth going on. Documented very well through phone records and a diary that Amber kept.
Cops were able to cross-reference the dates and times with Amber's diary and phone records to determine the content of each call.
Most of the conversations, to our knowledge, were about Amber being pregnant. And then once she's missing, there was her phone contact since.
Police are now saying those phone records constitute evidence of first-degree intentional homicide.
Is he your main suspect?
He's a suspect.
Up next.
Mr. Schneider, Jason Matera with Crime Watch Daily.
Cops have just named Matthew Schneider a prime suspect. And now, we want to ask him some questions.
Did you have sex with Amber?